Thank you for joining me today. It's Sandra at Arty Card Air, and I'm back with another Christmas project. This delightful box, which I like to put on my Christmas table, a little gift for everyone. And although this looks like quite a large gift, it's got some lovely chocolates in it, and I think it's nice to put a little extra gift on the table, and I've used this lovely holiday fancy foil vellum on here today, so I think that looks really nice. And I've put some of the white organza ribbon on and stamped a little sentiment which says time for giving, time for friends, time for joy that never ends. So very Christmassy. So I'll just very quickly show you inside the box. So this fancy foil vellum, it is see-through, but you can't actually see the chocolates. But if I put my fingers through, you can just about see them. But I think that's really nice and shiny and sparkly. Just what you want on the Christmas table, really, something like that. And inside you see my chocolates, and I've used this lovely silver glimmer card to make the base of my box. But you could use ordinary real red cardstock or green, whichever you prefer, or whatever colours you like. Anyway, let's get started on that now. I'll just put that to one side for the moment. So I'm bringing my scoring board over. So I'm changing this one up. I'm still using the silver glimmer paper, and I'm using this holiday fancy foil vellum, the one with the trees. There are 3 designs. I'll just quickly show you that. This is the seasonal catalogue, this one, and it's on page 32 of the seasonal catalogue. You've got your holidays fancy foil design vellum. You've got ones with the trees, the red one I've used, and then you've got one with icicles, snowflakes, silver snowflakes. So very pretty, and you get 9 sheets of 12 by 12, which is 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres, she says, putting her teeth back in. Right then, so let's get started on that. So we'll start with the base, score the base first. So the measurements are 7.5. Base is 7.5 by 5 7/8 inches, which in metric is 19.1 by 15 centimetres, and it's nice and easy. We're just scoring it at 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. 1.5 inches, just keep turning it round, and in centimetres 1.5 inches is 3.8. So that's nice and easy. We've done the base. So now the vellum. This measures 6 9/16 by 4 15/16, which is 16.7 by 12.5 centimetres, and we're scoring that at 1 inch on all 4 sides. That's 2.5 centimetres. Now when you're scoring this vellum, you need to show it who's boss. You need to score it about 3 times just to make sure. Have I done that 1 inch? Yes. Just to make sure that it's marked it, because it's just a little bit tougher to get through. But it does it. It does it. So I'll put that to one side, put that away, don't need that. So we're going to fold and burnish our score lines on our base. You could even make this to just give as a gift for someone for Christmas. I mean, you could put anything you want in it, jewellery, anything. It doesn't have to be chocolates. So we cut up our score lines and oh, I've got some glue or something stuck to it. That's it. Cut up our score lines, and as per usual we notch in so that we get a nice neat finish to our box. Last one. That's it. Get rid of the bits, we don't need those. Right, I'm going to use my fast fuse because I find that easier on videos, but you can use whichever glue you find the most easiest to use. Right then, that's got the glue on, and it's just a matter of going round and putting it to the corners. It couldn't really be easier. So that's our box base made. Put that to one side and bring in our vellum. So we've scored our vellum, and it can be tricky to see those score lines, so you've got to just show it who's boss. And once you've done your first burnish line, you'll see that that's gone down very neatly now. So it's just a question of doing that first fold line and showing it who's boss, and then you can, it's fine. And I think that this fancy foil vellum is just so pretty. And very unusual. Right, so that's the folding and burnishing done. So now we're going to cut up. Now what I'm doing here is I'm not going to notch in like I would normally do, because this foil vellum is fairly see-through. I use this glue here called two-way glue pen, and I find that that doesn't show through the vellum like your fast fuse or your multi-purpose adhesive glues would. So I'll just show you this. You've got like a little nib, and in order to get the glue to come out, you press down a couple of times, and that gets the glue working. And you just go, I just go around that outside little edge like that, and do that on all four corners like that. You could, if you wanted to, use glue dots, and I have used glue dots in the past, but I've discovered this two-way glue pen, and when it dries very clear, so it's ideal for this vellum. Right, put the lid on that. So now you just go round, excuse me, you just go round and push that down, hold it for a few seconds and it will stick. So. and I find that this is the neatest way to get these boxes so that the glue doesn't show. So that's our box lid done, and I've some more lovely chocolates here, so we'll push those into the box, put the lid on. So I think that looks really pretty. So now we just need to do all the little embellishments and the sentiments. So I'm going to get some white card, and then I'm going to get my stamp pad. Now I've taken this sentiment here, which says time for tinsel, time for snow, time for Santa's ho ho ho, time for giving, time for friends, time for joy that never ends. And what I did was I just stamped in the ink the last bit, because that fits on the box nicely in my scallop oval punch. So I've taken that and prepped that up on my stamp pad. So that's the bottom one here. So I've got my black stays on ink. And I'm just going to put the bottom of that in the ink. I think that's inked up nicely. So stamp that down. And that's good. Put that away. Right, so using my scallop oval punch, I'm going to punch that out. Actually, I need to just cut that. Can't get the oval punch in otherwise. I'll chop the bottom of that. So in with the, oh, this is causing me problems. Cut that up. Right, let's hope this works now. Yes. Right, so line that up in there nice and straight. Punch that out. And then using the lovely red glimmer paper, punch one of those out. And then we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to stand that up, raise that up a bit. So a couple of those on the back. The backing off the bits, and then I've offset it like that so that you can see a bit of the red, and then I'm just going to put a bit of fast fuse on the back to stick that to my present. So I'm sticking that in the bottom corner. And then on here I've cut out some little stars using the little bitty accents punch. So stamp 4 of those out. All of those, get my glue dots. The box over, and you don't have to put these on your box. You could leave them off if you didn't want to put them on. Whatever materials you've got to use, just use that. So my 4 little stars going across the box, and then I've used one of these Winter Wonderland embellishments with a little rhinestone in the middle. I've used one of those in the corner, so put a glue dot on that and stick that onto the corner. And then I'm going to get my white organza ribbon, and I'm going to turn the box over, run that round that way, turn it back, and then cut off a length. That's it. And then I'm going to put that underneath there, bring that back up on itself. And you could tie a bow if you wanted to, or just tie a knot, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to tie a knot because I don't want to hide up my lovely embellishments. So cut that off there, that off there, get rid of the bits, move that up so that we can see our sentiment a bit more. Right, tuck that under there, that's it. And I think you'll agree that that looks very, very nice and will make your Christmas table look attractive, and your guests will love it. So that's my project done for today. Hope you like those, and all I have to say now is Happy Christmas.